Imagine a cold dish on a hot day, or any day. It's time to make some cold soba noodles with mushrooms. Delicious. This feels like one of those dishes you'd overpay for in a restaurant, but it's so easy to make at home. It starts with the building block of dashi. Dashi is the central broth to all of Japanese cuisine. And it starts with kombu. This is like a dried seaweed. You can actually find this in a lot of places. When I took my 2-week Japanese intensive, the chef said that we should take a wet rag and just do this on the white. So that's what I do. It looks like it's not gonna be flavorful. It's so flavorful. Putting our kombu in, okay? 1, 2, 3. This is pure umami, natural monosodium glutamate, basically. We're gonna shut it off. We're gonna let that steep. This is gonna be super flavorful on its own, but if you wanted to take it to the full dashi, then you should put some bonito flakes in as well. That's just a smoked, dried fish, like in shavings. Bacon of the sea, if you will. So that's gonna steep. Let's make some mushrooms. A lot of people say to me, Frankie, how do you clean a mushroom? And the answer I always give them is, I have a mushroom brush. The mushroom cleaner, 4,000. And basically you can just get any dirt off. You don't wanna add any moisture here. They're so full of water as it is that you wanna do whatever you can. It could just be a rag, by the way. You don't need a mushroom brush. All right, looks good, great. We don't wanna add any more moisture to these. We're gonna turn this pan on. It's naked, all right? We're gonna slice up our mushrooms. This looks like a cremini, except ini would imply that it's small, and I gotta be honest, these are pretty big. Okay. Olive oil in the pan? No! Naked mushrooms in the pan. Why? Because they're gonna bleed that moisture out. They're getting shiny, that water's coming out, but at the same time, they are browning. That browning is giving us flavors of the deep, dark forest, which paired with this dashi-ish broth, it's gonna be very nice. It's gonna taste like the earth. Umami. Umami is the 6th flavor that Japanese cuisine really hits on, right? What are the flavors that we know? We know salty, we know sweet, we know sour, we know bitter, we know spicy, and then there's umami. I'm gonna let these cook a little bit longer. I want them to be dehydrated but not burnt. Let's prep some of our toppings. I've got a carrot. I want to be unfussy and beautiful with the carrot, okay? And so once you look at this, no longer as a potato peeler, but as a vegetable peeler, the possibilities for what it can do for you and me become endless. Look, oh, gorgeous. Tomatoes for a little bit of sweetness and acidity. Let's go back to our mushrooms real quick. Now we add the oil. I mean, look at some of those colors. That's pretty nice. Honestly, I feel like you can just kill the heat now if you've got a cast iron or carbon steel pan, because there's enough heat retention here that it's gonna warm it through. I don't wanna degrade this oil too much. I wanna keep the fruitiness, which is another benefit of putting it at the end. Not only do we squeeze the unwanted water and liquid out of the mushroom, we then retain the ultimate fruitiness and freshiness of the olive oil by not cooking it, because heat damages olive oil. Scallions. Scallions give us a little bit of a bite, you know? All right, our broth is ready. We're gonna take our kombu out, and we can make another dashi with this. We can make a second broth. It'll be a little bit less intense, but always save it and make a second one. Finished. Kombu's going in the fridge. For a future meal. Oh, it smells so good. I need some ice. Some of the broth. All right. I know what you're thinking. You're looking at this and you're like, how can that have any flavor? It has so much flavor. Let's hit this with an ice cube. I mean, it is cold noodles after all. Sometimes they even put the noodles on the ice and have this cold dipping sauce on the side, which we're serving as a broth. It's very exciting to eat in the summertime or anytime. Soy sauce, about 3 tablespoons. This is some more seasoning. Even more umami, and maybe another ice cube. You can take that extra dashi and freeze it in an ice cube tray, and then you'll have dashi ice cubes. Here we go, let's give this let's taste our broth. And it is extremely delicious. Literally 2 ingredients, soy sauce and kombu, and it tastes so good. If you've ever had a miso soup, strip the miso out. So why don't we make these noodles and assemble this whole thing? What do you say, cowboy? Got a bowl? and we've got some soba noodles. I cooked these in unsalted water for 3 or 4 minutes. I drained them and I rinsed them. This is like one of the only times in the entire world of cooking where you want to rinse the noodles. Absolutely rinse them till they're cold, but also to strip them of all the starch. What is a soba noodle? It's a buckwheat noodle, so that means it's gluten-free. If you've ever had a savory crepe before, and the crepe is like a sort of dark color like this, that's buckwheat. I think we're okay though. Let's hit it with some broth. Just want to see it come up like there. Beautiful. Let's get some mushrooms. And this is where I want to kind of create little pockets of toppings. You know, keep them all separate. Really lets you go in with various bites. We will go with 1, 2, 3. We'll come in with a few little carrots. Very cute. And how about some scallions right there? There it is. When I look at this, I say, man, that's gonna be delicious. But the only thing missing is some wasabi. And I happen to have some right here from a packet, like the good old days, which I borrowed from the supermarket. I'm gonna go right in the middle with the wasabi. Oh, it smells so good with wasabi. There it is, cold soba noodles with perfectly cooked mushrooms, a very simple yet incredibly savory broth that's made with dried seaweed. We've got a few accoutrements in the form of scallions and ribboned carrots. Remember, once you visualize a potato peeler as a vegetable peeler, it becomes a multi-use tool rather than a single item tool. And then of course, we topped it with wasabi. So we're gonna have spicy, we're gonna have savory, we're gonna have cold textures and flavors of the deep sea and the deep dark forest. This feels like there should be a trilogy of long books written after it. All right, we've got our cold soba noodles. I want a piece with some wasabi. Let's get some mushrooms. Let's try the noodles. Salty, spicy, delicious. Salty's not the right word. It's umami. It's a different thing because salty implies that like there's a limit. I feel like you could have unlimited umami and it would never be too much. But if you have too much salt, there is a limit. It's like, ooh, this isn't good. This is umami. Mushrooms are good. A little crispy, nice deep dark color on them. And that broth. It's savory, refreshing, and rich all at the same time. This is a super clean lunch, right? And at a restaurant, it would be pretty expensive because restaurants have relatively high costs, right? They gotta pay rent, they gotta get food costs, they've got employees, they've gotta keep up on certifications and various insurance mechanisms. We don't have any of that. And so we cook this at home, and what do we have? We have a savory, refreshing, cold, perfect for summertime broth that was simple to make, and yet it feels incredibly high-end and luxurious because it is. It's the perfect expression of simplicity being super high-end. So you should go make this because it's easy, it's affordable, and it's delicious. But now before I give you a struggle tip, this is an easy dish with simple ingredients. You know this. But in storage, you can make one fatal flaw. And that fatal flaw would be storing these noodles with the broth in them. Because these soba noodles, which are made of buckwheat, are gluten-free, they will literally disintegrate into a paste. And the next day you'll look at your broth and be like, where did the noodles go? And why is this so gummy? So the tip is store these noodles separately from the broth. Even if you've already mixed them, just take the noodles out, put them into a separate container, label it, Nudes today. Put it in the fridge, and I've got lunch for later in the week. Because you serve it cold, there's literally nothing to do but remarry the noodles with the broth. For years, I've promoted marriage of sauce and noodle. But right now, I think a little separation is a good thing, until they're ready to be together again, which is the moment that you will consume them.